Okay, my daddy's here says I'm representing WIS. Okay, thank you for this privilege, this opportunity. I'm excited that we've been talking about e-governance, and our president talked about that, and we are also looking about strategies and policies that we need to adopt as an organization or as a professional body. There is this area that I want to bring it to the floor, and for SOCON being the regulatory body, there has been a monster that we have been struggling with. And that monster, I do not know how SOCON will regulate that monster. That monster has been giving nightmare to state surveyor generals. And what is that monster? The state GIS platform. So many surveyor generals are having sleepless night because of their state GIS platform. And I begin to wonder why they should not go to sleep. If the state survey generals, they are able to automate the GIS to automate the survey departments in their respective states, they will be able to render the so-called GIS platform that are being managed by lawyers, by urban and regional planners, and some by bricklayers. I'm sorry to use this word. They will be able to render them useless. And what am I saying? We have, the SOCON president did mention about cadastral, and there is a book that will come up on that. And I want to put it that it would be equally good if in the regulation they made it such that the state surveyor generals or the state survey offices should not bother about the GIS platform, but rather should create cadastral information system. Cadastral information system is within the mandate or within the purview of the state surveyor general as enshrined by is one of the concurrent in the concurrent legislative list. So if state surveyor generals, they are able to automate their office, they create CIS, forget about GIS. If they create CIS, cadastral information system, you will be able to put aside the GIS platform that has been giving you nightmare. You are surveys, you automate it, the surveyor goes out, he uses his GPS, he comes back, he gives you the data digitally. And then you set up your examining office. The GPS data will be given to that office in soft copy. You train those people to do what we call quality assessment. And then from that moment, you'll be able now to handle it.
Thank you.
Let's do that.
Thank you, Dr. Dudu. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy. It shows that everybody was listening when the president was making his presentation. Now I have two observations before you stand up. I think part of what Joe just mentioned is that we do not have thorough understanding of LIM and GIS. Anybody can create GIS. I'm happy to inform you that someone in the Department of Electrical Electronics Engineering, University of Lagos, did a PhD and she used GIS. It's a tool. So it depends on how you want it. But as Surveyor General of a state, you can have your own department of which you can call CILIN. Then also, sir, my own question is on the item that has to do with examination. I've been an examiner with SOCON since 2012. And we keep on discovering each year, all year round. You will know definitely that somebody is copying somebody. There was a folio that we examined in my group with the late Surveyor Isaac. And the guy was mentioning that he worked in one part of Rivers, and he was quoting coordinates from Anambra also. So I chatted. I tried to. What is going on? Later we discovered that the guy actually copied and forgot to edit. You know, in academics, we have plagiarism software. Please, I recommended this, I think, about 7 years ago. I think when this Surveyor business group or so, and some of them are even free online. Let them chat. We can chat all their. Let them submit soft copy. It doesn't take anything to copy from AutoCAD and put and actually see that the guy actually worked. That is for the aspect that has to do with mapping. Then the other side is you can subject the write-up. Let them submit in words. The copy of everything. They may not be able to put the signature, but by the content, in fact, word for word, you have everything. And that takes how many minutes? 2 minutes to do. So please, sir, it's just an observation on that. Thank you, sir.
Let me thank all the people who have either asked questions or made observations. As I said yesterday, we are open to ideas. We want constructive criticisms. We want to harvest ideas so that we can better the system. The first question was on consent judgment. It is possible that the past president was not here when I started making my submission. I said that we had gone, I did go with one or two persons from SOCON to go and see the president of NIS and to solicit cooperation. And we have agreed that we will talk to OSGov to join us so that these three arms will be meeting periodically. We have targeted 3 meetings in a year to address common issues. That is the much I will say about that. So, following what you are saying, what you said about the consent judgment. So this is my own approach. When issues start coming up, we address them. Engineering survey. Yes, the person who talked about engineering survey, you are correct. We equally want to look at engineering survey, specification on construction survey. In fact, by 2 weeks ago, we have bought 2 books on construction law. One written by the daughter of the former Chief Justice from Cross River, Ononihin, or some, and the one from Sweet and Maxwell from UK, to aid the survey laws and regulation when they want to handle that. We are fully sized of that situation. So we have already started getting ready. You know, I didn't want to make this a lecture, bringing out everything. But now that you have asked, I will tell you the much we are doing. So it is on the front burner also. Number of surveyors. Now, survey practice in the north. I like to say that since I took office, I've had courtesy calls from the APPSN, their national executive, the Northern Surveyors Forum, and the South-South Surveyors Forum. When the Northern Surveyors Forum came, they raised 3 fundamental issues. The issue of survey practice in the north, the issue of creation of Office of Surveyor Generals in the states, and the issue of this GIS office, creation of GIS office, and the supplanting of Surveyor General's office, becoming a subset of that. We have started working on that survey practice in the north. But I think it is necessary for us to admit that the problem is with us. in the sense that there is, I don't know the English name for this rat that has a long mouth. We call it in Kapia. The smell we are seeing is from there, is with us. 20,000 jobs done. 20,000 plus done. And the surveyor general could not farm it out to 2, 3, 4 surveyors. I don't know. Is it me that will go and create the jobs? So the point is that we will come to the issue of surveyor generals. They are our colleagues, our brothers in the profession. I intend to dialogue with them. I intend to dialogue with the northern surveyors, surveyor generals, because something has to be done. But most importantly, we are trying to see whether our regulation can be improved such that we can insert certain clauses that will enable survey practice to function in the north. And you must admit that we need to look at the laws pertaining to land in the north. If you go back, there is a law, if my brain can remember, 1909, 1913, and 1917. If you take those laws and read it, before you come to Eastern Nigeria, Western Nigeria, and all the Atlantean laws, you'll find out that the laws could be part of the constraints. Could be part of the constraints. So we are looking at this thing holistically. The North came, we wrote them. Do this, do this. They have replied. We are working on that. And I have this radical view that if it is possible to do something in our regulation, and a northern surveyor general or a northern state produces a map for boundary work, and the other surveyor general says that this plan is not tenable because it did not fulfill 1, 2, 3 in the survey regulations, and it is thrown away, the commissioner or the governor will say, what are those things that are required? By the time you start doing that, maybe we are looking at such possibilities. And if you look at Cap 194, you will realize that there are certain things that are in Cap 194 that are not in the Enabling Act. You know, when we were in Mina, I can't remember, in 1980 something now, when the law was coming, what the surveyor said, bring it out like that. Don't wait, bring it out. Otherwise, the Enabling Act does not. I need to be corrected because I wouldn't say I know everything. Does not even give you the authority to produce a survey plan. But Cap 194, I think other 13 or something, says you must produce a plan, and it defines the type of plan. That was why in Oyo, either in Oyo or something, somebody went to court and they said that the paper he used for the plan did not meet the size of paper that was stipulated in the act, and that was how it was thrown away. So in the amendment, we will straighten this thing. Any day a lawyer decides to ask you a question, give me the authority that says that you are the person to produce this plan. I don't think we have anything to read. We are working on convention. Where I make mistakes, please correct me. So the survey practice in the north is on the front burner. We have started work on it. And the northern delegation that came was the who and who, the creme de la creme of the north. Yes, the minister, everybody was there. And this survey practice, because I told them that I don't know how they manage to survive, look very neat, wear this thing, and possibly marry more than one wife, and maintain the children accruing from the. You people are getting excited. That's my problem. When somebody is talking surveying, and I'm just trying to do an analogy that has to do with this thing. So please, is it on the front burner? Survey regulations in the states. Past president raised that matter. The point remains that the regulation, the practice in SOCON is that when you do any local regulation in your state, you bring it to SOCON for approval. But I'm just from few months in office, so I wouldn't know whether these things are being done. But he made a very vital suggestion that we should ask for all those ones and take a holistic view of all of them. I know that in some states you cannot practice so. There are a lot of the regulations that are not written. There are a lot of the regulations that are not written. There are some states you cannot practice if you are not an indigene. It is not written. But I think with dialogue, we should be able